Hello, everybody. David Schuster here. Fox News, which usually supports Republicans and Donald Trump, is now ratcheting up its criticism of Trump, and that's causing him to freak out. The fireworks this week erupted after Fox reported its latest poll showing a record low approval rating for Trump and the worst at this point in a term of any president in U.S. history.
If you look at our new Fox News poll at 100 days job approval compared to other presidents, there you see the president at 44%, and you see his first term at 45% at this mark, the 100-day mark. We have other new polls that are revealing.
True Social, Rupert Murdoch has told me for years that he's going to get rid of his Fox News Trump-hating fake pollster, but he has never done so. This pollster has gotten me and MAGA wrong for years.
The economy, for example, the president's numbers are upside down to where they were, and they've taken a drop, as you see there, 38% in approve on the economy, an issue that in the election, obviously, he's succeeded at.
The Wall Street Journal, which is also owned by Rupert Murdoch, has been hammering Donald Trump, calling his trade war the dumbest tariff plunge. The Wall Street Journal also wrote, "We've courted Mr. Trump's ire by calling the Mexico and Canada levies the dumbest in history, and we may have understated the point. Mr. Trump is whacking friends, not adversaries." Trump. Murdoch, he should start making changes at the China-loving Wall Street Journal. It sucks. At times, the Wall Street Journal and Fox News have been a tag team in criticizing Trump on the economy.
But when it comes to the economy, this is where it's a little trickier, and this is where his numbers have gone south. He's struggling on the economy overall with a 38% approval rating. On tariffs, it's even lower at 33%, and his handling of inflation also at 33%. Many Americans believe that the tariffs are inflationary or will be inflationary. That's the worry. The Wall Street Journal has a piece this morning, and the headline says, "Trump meets his match, and his match is the markets." The stock market is down. Many of us are invested in the stock market, and it's down 5% or more since April the 2nd, which was the announcement of the tariffs on Liberation Day.
The economy was supposed to be Donald Trump's strong suit. But never mind the harsh reporting Trump is getting from Fox on that. The conservative channel is also blasting Trump's approach towards the war between Russia and Ukraine. Trump recently posted, "We are close to a deal," and said this.
I think we have a deal with Russia. We have to get a deal with Zelensky, and I hope that Zelensky, I thought it might be easier to deal with Zelensky. So far it's been harder, but that's okay. It's all right. But I think we have a deal with both.
You know, he keeps pounding Zelensky and saying it's harder to deal with him than it is with Putin. Putin, so far as I can tell, hasn't agreed to much of anything except, yes, he'd love to annex Crimea, which is part of the proposal that's before him now. That's no concession. That's just all that is taking a gain. Zelensky resists that because Crimea, up until the Russia invaded it 10 years or so ago, was part of Ukraine. So I'm not exactly sure what the president is talking about when he says that Zelensky has been more difficult to deal with than Putin. You know, there have been a series of ceasefire proposals. Putin either hasn't agreed to them or has immediately broken them.
Putin underscored that the very next day. In the midst of the Trump talks, Russia bombarded civilians in Ukraine's capital.
Tonight, Ukrainians reeling after the largest Russian attack on the country in nearly a year. Missiles and drones striking the capital, Kyiv, leaving at least a dozen dead and more than 100 wounded. An attack that prompted President Trump, whose administration is trying to broker a peace agreement, to directly call out Russia's President Vladimir Putin, writing on social media, "Vladimir, stop." And then from the Oval Office,
I didn't like last night. I wasn't happy with it. And we're in the midst of talking peace, and missiles were fired.
The Fox News morning show, Fox and Friends, was blunt.
Vladimir Putin, I think, to a degree, is embarrassing President Trump. When he bombed Kyiv in this brutal attack, the worst, you're watching it now.
Worst in a year.
The worst in a year. And killed these innocent people, and you see the cover of the New York Post today. I don't know if we have it built. I can hold it up if you want. Just a woman sitting there. Here we go. Oh. This is what Trump is trying to do. to help this woman.
But the New York Post, which is also owned by Fox News owner Rupert Murdoch, had the headline, "Words are not enough." That was a direct shot at Trump and his failed negotiations. And that puts the New York Post in the same category of Trump criticism as progressive publications that have described Trump's diplomatic communique as playground weak and weenie-esque. Headline, the must-read Substack, the news. Vladimir, stop! Ow, quit it! I mean it! Trump seeks to end Russia violence by deploying tactics best known for failing to halt noogie attacks. The impotence of Trump's efforts to end the war, which he said in the campaign he would end on day one, and the seeming incompetence in Trump's handling of the U.S. economy are not just echoing across Rupert Murdoch's Fox News and conservative newspapers. Republican voters are also lashing out. Republican strategist Sarah Longwell has been conducting Trump voter focus groups and says there has been a sea change, especially on views about the economy.
I mean, the main thing that has sunk in is that maybe Donald Trump doesn't know exactly what he's doing. Look, the fact is, when it comes to why a lot of voters, not all of them, not, the hardcore MAGA people, but there was another major slice of the Trump voting coalition that were people who just wanted things to cost less, right? They were upset about inflation. They were upset about the cost of housing. And they heard Donald Trump promise to lower the price of groceries. And that he was going to lower the cost of everything. It was going to be so easy and so fast. And when you listen to voters and focus groups, they say not only are things not getting better, but it feels like they're getting worse. And the level of uncertainty that they feel, and that is it. I really want to, it's the uncertainty that you can hear from people. You'll get some who are, they're still fans of Donald Trump, but they're kind of like, boy, I hope this works out. I'm not sure. But then you get other people, especially people who are cost constrained, who are at the lower end of the income spectrum. And those people notice every dollar and the way any price that goes up. And so from those voters who heard the promise that Trump was going to lower costs, who thought he was a businessman who knew what he was doing, and is now watching this chaos and not seeing their prices go down, they are starting to lose faith that he's going to be able to keep the promises that he made to them.
And that frustration, that anxiety among Trump voters is inescapable. And it's become so apparent that even Fox News feels safe reporting the harsh reality about Trump. And as angry as Donald Trump may get at Fox or other media entities in the conservative Rupert Murdoch empire, the fact is that none of them, with their Trump criticism, are now going out on a limb. Trump's numbers are down across the board, and Trump's own voters are souring on him and frustrated. I'm David Schuster. Thanks for joining us.